Okay, helping people transition into cybersecurity careers. A lot of people, their first thought is, oh, what certification should I get? What's the first two or three that you would look at if you were trying to break in?
Yeah, and when I explain it to my students, I say there's certain certifications that are they're the equivalent of you must be this tall to ride, right? You know what I mean? Like the signs at Six Flags over here. And I would say that's the Security Plus. The CompTIA Security Plus is the one certification. Now, s- cybersecurity is like any other career, right? You know what I mean? So there's entry level certifications that you're going to get, like you're a mechanic, it's going to be ACE or something similar, right? But in Star Wars, it's going to be Security Plus. But then Security Plus is a generic kind of certification, like it covers almost every domain of cybersecurity, but add a little bit, right? Just to make sure that you're competent on a lot of little different areas, right? But it all depends on, and what I say is what you want to be when you grow up, right? So a lot of my cybersecurity students want to get into what I call technical cyber, right? There's two types, technical, non-technical cyber. Technical cyber is I want to be a security engineer. I want to write code. I want to do vulnerability assessments. I want to do pen testing, ethical hacking, red team, right? A lot of those kind of technical kind of areas where they're hands-on keyboard for a good part of the day. Those kind of certifications, then you need to start looking at what is your second certification going to be. In cyber, you usually have one or two, right? Usually two in most cases. So you'll say, okay, what is my second certification going to be in? If it's technical cyber, there's an entire set of them out there. And again, not to plug my book, but I wrote a couple of books on this topic. One of them is about how to become cyber, and it's got a listing of every single career in cybersecurity with a listing of certifications that go with that career. And they're all available on Amazon now. I went through a period of layoff last year. So for several months, I had nothing to do but write. And so I took on writing books, and I've released four of them are with the publishers now. Two more are coming this year. So one of them I wanted to write because of my passion dealing with students, right? So definitely you want the Security Plus, and then you want to decide technical or non-technical. I'm more on the non-technical side. So I have the two higher level certifications. One is a CISSP, which you get after a certain number of years that you've been in cyber, and a C-Risk, which is a risk and compliance certification. And the reason I say entry level versus career wise is because there's a cost associated with the certification. So certifications are like a plane ticket. You don't pay for the cert, you pay for the opportunity to take the test to become certified, right? So a CompTIA Security Plus is about 300 and some bucks, right? That's not a small chunk of change. However, a CISP is like 800. An ethical hacker is like 1,000. So you take this certification first, and then you decide what that second one is going to be. But there is definitely a monetary penalty if you don't pay attention, if you don't study, if you don't focus on the certification that you're going to get.
Good advice. And I like that you are saying take the first one and then decide which direction you want to go from there. A lot of folks on YouTube will say get the CompTIA A plus certification, but I wonder if that's even relevant. I don't know how relevant it is to your
So
day to day, especially like printers. Like if there's questions in there about printer troubleshooting. It's like I don't even want to know the first thing about printers. Why do I need to take this?
yeah, when I ran security and infrastructure at that energy company, it was a lot of printing, believe it or not. But no, no, no. Let me explain the difference between the three basic CompTIA certifications, right? Because these are very old certifications. Like I took the A plus in like 20 years ago, right? It's been around that long. My CCNA was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we only had a couple of certifications, right? CompTIA has been around for a very long time. One of the oldest, most respected vendors that are out there. Period. They have three basic certifications that are really considered entry level that I'll talk about. One is A plus, the other is Net plus, and then Security plus, right? A plus is for what I call desk side. These are the men and women that suffer through our problems at Best Buy when we go in there, right? You know what I mean? You go to the Geek Squad, this is their certification. And in a business, this would be the help desk person that comes to your desk, right? This would be the person that comes out and solves problems with you on the help desk, right? That's what an A plus is really for. So you have two parts to it. You have a hardware software part, right? Hardware, of course, is all the little, and like you said, printers and SCSI cards and all kinds of stuff that's really not going to be relevant to day-to-day cyber, I would imagine. And the second half of it is operating systems, Windows, Linux, Mac. Not really a certification I'd recommend for a cybersecurity person. If you're getting into IT and you want to work at a help desk and you want to get your career started, definitely A plus is something that you should look at. The second one is Net plus. That's for entry level networking people. And there's really only a couple of comparisons out there. There's like the CCNA for the Cisco side, which is much, much more difficult to get and requires vendor specific knowledge, right? So CompTIA in general is what we call vendor agnostic. It's not focused on a specific technology, right? So they're not easier, but they're easier to understand, right? Not easier to get, but easier to understand. Network Plus is for people who want to work in networking. The next one I would say is the Security Plus, which is our entry level for cybersecurity. So yeah, you'll see other certifications out there, and there are companies out there who are just dedicated to generating certifications. And I won't mention who they are. You'll see a lot of these, especially come through emails. Become PowerPoint certified. Is that necessary for you? No. How do you know what is going to be necessary for you? Go look at job descriptions on Indeed, Monster, LinkedIn, and look at what certifications they're asking for.